Hey, I'm Dinora from Oxylabs, and today I'm here to talk all about data center and residential proxies. Choosing between data center and residential proxies can feel confusing, especially if you're collecting data at scale. Whether you're scraping websites, verifying ads, or monitoring prices, the type of proxy you use can make or break your results. Today, we're breaking down both types, what they are, how they work, what makes them different, and which proxy type you should actually choose depending on your use case. Let's get right into it. First, we have residential proxies. Residential proxies use real IP addresses assigned by Internet Service Providers, ISPs, to real households and physical devices. Because these IPs come from regular people's phones, laptops, or routers, they look like normal human traffic. This makes them incredibly hard for websites to block and perfect for challenging targets with strong anti-bot detection. Then there's data center proxies. Data center proxies come from servers and cloud hosting providers, not from ISPs or physical homes. They're IPs created at scale inside data centers. They don't belong to real devices, and websites can sometimes detect that. Despite this, data center proxies can offer extremely fast speeds, stable performance, low costs, and massive availability. What's more is that they're commonly used for large-scale scraping where speed matters most. So we've now built the foundation of understanding what are residential and data center proxies. But what actually makes them different? Let's go over a few key differentiators. First, let's start with speed. When we talk about data center proxies, they're usually extremely fast. This makes them great for time-sensitive scraping, automation, and bulk tasks. When it comes to residential proxies, they're much slower. Why? Because, as I mentioned before, their traffic routes through real devices. This extra layer adds latency, which naturally makes them slower than data center proxies. Next, we have anonymity and detection resistance. Here, data center proxies fall behind. They're easier to identify as non-human unless, of course, they come from a premium provider. Even then, no provider can guarantee complete undetectability, but a premium service can significantly reduce detection rates. Residential proxies, on the other hand, are much harder to detect. They mimic natural human behavior online, and they're excellent for complex targets. Now, let's talk about uptime and reliability. In simple terms, uptime is the amount of time a proxy stays online and working without interruptions. The higher the uptime, the more consistently your task can run without failures or disconnects. When it comes to uptime, data center proxies usually take the lead. They're hosted in powerful, built with backups, data centers designed to stay online 24/7, which makes them extremely stable. Residential proxies are reliable as well, but because they route through real household devices, there's naturally a bit more variability. A device going offline, a changing network environment, or local connectivity issues can all affect uptime in small ways. Next, there's a price aspect. Data center proxies are much more cost-friendly compared to residential proxies, making them a great choice when budget is a priority. Residential proxies are generally more expensive because they are harder to acquire, maintain, and source ethically. Next up is IP pool size. Data center proxies have large IP pools, but their distribution is limited to the locations of the hosting providers rather than real homes. Whereas residential proxies usually offer very large, globally distributed IP pools because they come from real households all around the world. And finally, we have subnet diversity. In simple terms, this refers to how different the IP addresses are from one another. The more diverse the subnets, the harder it is for websites to group or block them. Since data center proxies often have many IPs grouped within the same subnets, It makes them easier for websites to spot and block as a cluster. Premium providers usually mitigate this by offering broader subnet diversity. When it comes to residential proxies, it's a bit of a different story. Residential proxies have high subnet diversity because each IP comes from a different ISP, device, and household. Now that we've gone over the key differences between residential and data center proxies, let's see how these differences translate into real-world use cases and help you decide which type is right for your project. So, when should you use data center proxies? They're best for market research, for example, tracking competitor prices across hundreds of e-commerce sites. Email protection, for example, managing multiple email accounts without getting flagged or blocked. Large-scale, high-speed data scraping, like gathering thousands of product listings or news articles in a short period of time. Simple or low-security websites, such as blogs or forums where anti-bot measures are minimal. Budget-friendly scraping projects when you need many IPs but don't need advanced features. Projects requiring predictable, stable infrastructure, for instance, monitoring stock prices, tracking public APIs, or running automated tests on your own web apps. In short, use data center proxies when speed and cost are the priority. Next, let's look over the residential proxies use cases. They are best for challenging scraping cases, such as price monitoring, tracking competitors' prices on global marketplaces such as Amazon, eBay, or Shopify stores. Ad verification, checking how your ads appear on various platforms from different locations. Review monitoring, analyzing user reviews across sites or app stores to spot trends or fake reviews. Anti-phishing analysis, testing email links, websites, or online campaigns to detect phishing attempts safely. Real-time product monitoring, keeping tabs on inventory, stock levels, or new product releases. Map monitoring, ensuring that retailers comply with minimum advertised price policies in real time. Any task where anonymity and realism matter most, like creating location-specific accounts, scraping geo-restricted content, or simulating real user behavior online. In short, use residential proxies when you need to look like a real human and avoid getting blocked. We've covered which tasks each type of proxy is best suited for. Lastly, let's take a closer look at their advantages and disadvantages to understand the trade-offs of each choice. Data center proxy advantages. They are very fast, they are extremely cost-efficient, they offer high uptime and stability, easy to scale in bulk, and ideal for large data tasks. Here are some data center proxy disadvantages. After all, they are artificial IPs, easier for websites to detect. There are higher chances of blocks when using these proxies. Their subnet diversity can be limited. Moving on, here are some residential proxies advantages. They are real user IPs from ISPs. They are extremely hard to detect. They can boast minimal block rates. They offer high geolocation accuracy, and they are ideal for complex websites. And here are some of residential proxy disadvantages. They are expensive. They are slower compared to data center proxies. So, which proxy type is better? It all comes down to your priorities. If you need access to difficult targets, go with residential proxies. If you need speed, cost efficiency, and scale, choose data center proxies. And remember, ethical sourcing and reputable providers matter more than anything. If you want a deeper dive on residential, data center, ISP, or any other type of proxy, check out our blog. You'll find the link in the description below. Have any questions? Leave a comment down below or join our Discord community. And if you run into any issues with Oxylabs products, reach out at support@oxylabs.io or use the live chat on our homepage. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights on all things web scraping and proxies.